You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.
People are stupid.
Yes, they are. Not our listeners or followers, but everyone else.
Well, no, anyone who follows this is a genius.
Smart.
They're genius.
Right, but most people are fucking stupid.
I'm kind of nervous for this one.
Because there's some shoes to fill, right?
I mean, we're going to have actual people listening to this one.
Wow. Explain to for those who don't know what you're talking about.
We are famous now.
No, that's a little narcissistic.
We talked last week about how we were blowing up on TikTok, and we said, "Oh my god, like we're TikTok famous now." We had 500 followers last week.
500 followers.
You know where we're at now? 60,000. What the fuck?
In 1 week.
Why? Like
wait, Bronson, we reached over 2 million views on the videos.
Yeah.
2 million.
It makes no sense.
In a week. It's crazy.
It's crazy. I was literally on Wednesday morning or whatever, just sitting in my car. I just got Chipotle for lunch. I'm working from home. So, went out and got a little lunch. I was sitting in my car.
I know. I saw the charge on the credit card for that, which I don't understand. When you're fucking making money, I got to pay for your Chipotle.
When did I charge on Chipotle?
100%.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
It's because my Chipotle app is mom's credit card info is saved in that. And I just use the app because I'll put my credit card on the app.
No, it's okay. Don't worry. I'm just teasing you because I know you went to Chipotle. I saw it.
So I went to Chipotle and I'm sitting in the car and I'm just, every time I refresh the TikTok app, it's 100 new followers. And it's like, I was sitting in my car cracking up to myself like a madman because I was like, what is happening?
It's great though.
It's just bizarre.
And great comments and great followers, and people are duetting us now, right?
People are duetting us. Strangers are duetting us.
I never knew what duetting was until you told me.
It's just such a weird. It's been such a weird week,
but fun, exciting.
Super fun.
By the way, do we not love the loyalty? Do we not love the fan base?
And everyone's so like
nice.
People say the internet is like a harsh place, and of course that exists. But not with our fans. Everyone who comments is
supportive.
So nice.
So nice and supportive. It's unbelievable. Oh, and then we went live, on Tuesday on my birthday?
No, we went live on Thursday night on TikTok. We actually just went live before this episode and got some topics from people. So if you want to do that, make sure to follow us on TikTok.
Yeah, it was
Although
great.
all our listeners now are probably TikTok people.
It's been great. So,
but we went live and we were sitting out in the backyard and it's just like we're talking to all these strangers from all over the country who know our names.
So much fun. So much fun. Yeah.
And everyone loves him over me. What the fuck, guys? Screw you. And people also think we're a gay couple. I mean, what?
Well, that's because of your look. And by the way,
people think we're a gay couple because of me. A couple is both of us.
Okay, not because me and you play the woman in the relationship.
You're the one wearing Ferragamo shoes.
Yeah, because
and those
you know
pants.
why?
I'm wearing jeans and a Henley.
You know why?
The least gay thing ever.
You know why? Because I can.
And $20 dirty ass Converse.
Correct, because I can wear my Ferragamo
right, but
shoes.
which is gayer?
Who has the dyed hair?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. But nothing wrong being gay. But as far as this is a disgusting fucking conversation. Disgusting.
Right. I mean, you're the one that said it because of me.
Well, I just want to let the record reflect. If it were one of the two, they know you're playing the woman in the role.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
the woman role in the relationship. It's okay. Again, there's nothing wrong with it.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. We are father and son.
We are father and son.
So no more of those comments on our TikTok.
But 99.9% are positive.
It's just so weird.
And
it's been so crazy.
And we've been enjoying it.
It's been great. I mean, we're doing this for fun and just to have conversations between us that we can have forever that exist because we like to talk about things. And now that other people are liking what we're talking about and what we're saying is just so crazy.
But now there's a slight difference. Even though it's fun, the fun has gone to a phase 2 where now we want to do this for our fans because we want to hear more comments. We want to meet their needs. So it's like
I know,
fun.
But then it's like we can't lose who we are,
We're not losing who we are. The point is, it's nice that if people are taking a liking to what we have to say because we hear a lot of positive feedback from other people and so forth, why not foster more of that? So now we're trying to do it for the sake of also helping our fans because there's a relationship now and we want to maintain that relationship. And I like that. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
It's still fun. It's a lot of fun.
So fun. And it's just like, who knows where this is going to go? Like,
Bronny, it's like 2:00 and I'm like, I can be in my office and I call you, go, what number are we at? You're like, we're up 87,000. I'm like, okay, great.
Yeah, we check every hour, but we go through and get reports. Okay, we're up 200 followers or subscribers on YouTube. We got 1,000 new likes. It's just crazy.
But it's crazy in a great way. Great way.
It's great. And who knows where it's going to go. We're just going to keep doing what we're doing.
Right. And one day at a time, brother.
Yeah.
So what do we got going on? It's Sunday, doing our thing. It's the last day of January.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Tomorrow's February 1st. Short month.
This year's going to go fast too. It goes faster.
All right. You're only 20, going to be 25. Don't start being pessimistic about life.
What was pessimistic about that?
Each year's going to go faster and faster.
It will. That's what happens.
Okay. Technically, I'm going to be you from it. Technically, it does not go faster and
faster. The perception of time does, though.
Okay, but time is a same constant. It does not go faster.
That's not true. Time is relative. That's like the main thing that Einstein, and that's like the main thing of science is time is relative. If you went...
But we gauge it the same way. There's 31 days in January.
Right, but that's all arbitrary.
Okay, but it's what we gauge. Numbers are arbitrary.
Numbers are arbitrary,
okay,
yeah.
Language is arbitrary.
Yes.
Okay, but we still gauge it.
And so is time.
7 days a week to work. That's 7 days in a week. 24
hours
why
in a day. 7?
Okay, I don't know who fucking cares why, but the point is, it's still the same every year. It's the same amount of hours and minutes and seconds.
Yes, but
that's it.
But your perception changes because when you're 8, a year is an eighth of your life. That's a long time. When you're 58, you've had 57 other years. So 1 year is less of a length to you.
But a purpose.
So it literally the perception of it changes as you age.
The perception might change, but literally it's the exact same time.
The seconds are the exact same.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right. It's a lot of conversation, which we fucking wasted now. We'll never get that back.
Oh no, 1 minute.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
So the main news this week was about the stock market and GameStop and all that.
Unbelievable.
And people have been talking about it for a while. But I guess we should weigh in because it's just been a crazy thing that's going on.
All right, so let's take a couple minutes. I don't want to spend too much time because it's everywhere you go, but let's take a couple minutes.
It is everywhere. So what do you think? We tried to buy in.
We did try to buy in, but we weren't too late, I guess. We were too late because the brokerage houses would not allow it. Because
that's where I have the issue with everything. And that's where most people have the issue.
Well, listen.
How do you live in a free market, right? We live in a free market, which we don't because this is proving that we don't, and we never have. But we're told that we live in a free market where you can participate. And then the people who are controlling that are now saying, nope, you can't participate. You have to be a certain type of person to participate. That's literally what they're saying.
Well, okay, so I see both sides. However, a bank could say, we don't want you to be a depository and a customer of ours. So if you're dealing with a Raymond James or Morgan Stanley or Citibank and so forth, or Goldman Sachs, and they're like, we don't deal with those kind of...
But based on what? What is the only reason they're doing it is because you're not in the hedge fund, you're just a guy.
No, what happens is, Bronson, so a lot of these larger companies, unlike, let's say, an E-Trade and so forth, or a Schwab account where you can trade yourself, when you're trading through these companies, these clearing houses, they don't allow you to buy penny stock, or they don't allow you to buy stock that is, that's not on the NASDAQ and so forth. So they make these rules up.
Okay, so then let's not even do Raymond James. Robinhood, which is the big one in the news, which was when it first came out, it was a big deal in that world because now anyone can just buy stocks and there's no broker fees and there's none of that. It gives the power to the people. Hence the name Robinhood, right? Taking from the rich and giving to the poor. Robinhood was removing those apps or those stocks from their app and not letting people buy. I literally went in on Friday morning, I went in to buy Nokia and I searched NOK in the Robinhood app and it didn't even show up.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So, and then everyone's claiming that what Reddit was doing was market manipulation. It's like...
They're doing the opposite way. Correct.
Market manipulation, what? By buying stocks? That's all that happened.
Well, listen, I find nothing wrong with social media. Marketing. Social media, if they want to drive a stock up or down, is it any different with campaigning? People use social media for campaigning. That's sufficient. People use social media for advertising, help their businesses.
Right, but now it's because when it hurts the elites, it's bad.
Because it's all bullshit. It's all control. It's the same exact result and action. It's just a different fact pattern. It's all about control. And, I'm pleased to hear that, see, so although I think social media is not a great thing, but if there's going to be this control or these trying to think, Bronson, with regards to what the government's doing and there's no checks and balances, social media will help spread the word quicker, because look what Reddit has done with regards to
I know, but
stock.
then you know what happened? Reddit started blocking Wall Street Bets, which was the subreddit that this was happening on. They started removing people's accounts.
They did.
Yeah.
Terrible.
You can't rely on social media for freedom of speech.
Terrible.
We've learned that this year for sure.
So then what do we do?
I mean,
Do we get a styrofoam cup with string? Remember those days?
the Discord?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Discord, which is like an online chat service where you can, like, I can create a Discord and then I can invite people to it and then we can all chat in it. Discord was banning certain chats that people were saying, buy this stock, buy this stock. Discord literally was removing them. It's because it's all controlled by the same people. The CEO of Robinhood.
Who are you pointing at?
I'm pointing.
Okay. Hey, I know you fidget, but let's see if you can for 5 minutes to rest your hands on your lap and
Why?
talk. Why not?
You move your hands you're moving your hand.
No, but you're like doing this, and what happens? I'm trying to talk to you, and my eyes are going towards
You just
your
went
hand.
like this while you were talking.
I said you're doing this with
You
the
move your hands all the time.
Okay, do whatever the fuck.
Okay,
you
so
want.
I'll keep my hands here. If
Do
you keep your
whatever the
hands there.
fuck you want.
You just
to
move
do.
your hands.
Okay. Do whatever the fuck you want to do.
30 seconds ago, you said don't move your hands. Now you're saying do what I want to do.
Yes, I am literally saying, because you're annoying me. Go ahead, do what you want to do.
I'm annoying you because I'm moving my hands and you're telling me not
No,
to.
because I'm just saying you're putting your hands up in front of your face. You even commented. You commented last time when you watch yourself on YouTube, and I said your hands are in front of your face. So I'm saying just don't move your hands so much. So you want to get defensive and move your fucking hands, and move your fucking hands. What do you want from
then
me?
I'm going to do it.
Do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Okay, you're just giving me mixed signals.
I was trying to help you. Some reason you got defensive as a result of it. And then rather than saying, okay, I'll try to do, you're like, you move your hands. You just did it. See, you give me
Because this is how I talk.
I get it. But isn't there a thing called growth? If you yourself say, listen, if you just
The most charismatic, the most charismatic people, the best public speakers, they say use your hands to emphasize points.
Bronson, use your hands where you don't cover your face, because you comment, then cover your face. People watching you on YouTube, and if you do this with your hands, it's fine. When you do this and you keep talking like this, and now the camera, you can't see it. Watch on YouTube.
Okay, so people who are watching, because the majority of this is listens, but people who are watching, then let me know if it's too much in my in front of.
Do you not have a YouTube? Do we not have a YouTube platform?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you not say to me when we watched it?
I did.
Okay. I just want to be very clear. Did you not say to me, I got to stop my hands because it's covering my face? Did you say that to me?
Yes.
Okay. So therefore, if I say he's your father because you commented to me and I noticed, say, just don't use your hands much. Rather than you get in defense, say, the smartest people in the fucking world, they say in public speaking, use your thing. Okay. Just say, I'll try. What's wrong with that?
Fine. I'll try.
There you go. And if you want to move your hand, maybe
I'll stick to my right hand.
No, maybe move it a little bit lower, because what happens is you have some great things to say, but when you start moving your hands like this and whatever, it takes people start looking.
I don't think so.
Okay, Bronson, if you're like one of these tricks in trials, if opposing counsel says something you don't want to, or they're on a roll and you make some sort of bullshit objection, it's to break the mood. If they're picking a jury and you start doing stuff and things like that, so the jury pays attention to you to fuck with opposing counsel, these are little tricks.
Now I have an itch, so can I go and itch my nose?
Yes, okay. Bronson, I love you, but
I'll
do what
try.
you want. That's all. I'm not against you. I'm in support of you.
I'll try.
Thank you. Let's move on.
Okay, back to this, because so the New York Times, everyone, the biggest thing about this is that it's clearly just another thing this year that we're seeing the curtain being pulled back.
Scary.
Right? Like we're seeing like the Wizard of Oz, right? We're seeing the curtain pulled back and what the machine is actually looking like, and that it's not for us, right? It's not to help us. It's against the people. I think so Elizabeth Warren, who is like the most liberal, help the people, power to the people senator, right? She's like besides Bernie, she's the most Medicare for all, right? Power to the people.
Okay.
She tweeted when this happened, casino-like swings in stock prices of GameStop reflect wild levels of speculation that don't help the workers or customers and could lead to market instability. Today, I told the SEC to explain what exactly it's doing to prevent this market manipulation. So it's like
control.
So
She's in favor of what the big companies are doing.
Right. And
Yes.
it's like she wants to give everyone health care, but she doesn't want to give people money when they're earning it fairly by playing the stock market. It's just all control. And then the New York Times tweeted this: amateur investors, perhaps propelled by a mix of greed and boredom, are looking to teach Wall Street a lesson. They've come together on a popular Reddit page to push the stock up of companies like GameStop to outrageous heights. The New York Times, a news outlet, said,
New York Times
propelled
sucks.
by a mix of greed and boredom. What's the difference between what the Redditors were doing and what the hedge funds were doing?
No, listen.
It's just amateur investors propelled by a mix of greed and boredom. It's just so blatantly like obvious what they're all trying to do.
Okay, so Bronson, think about, we've been doing this podcast for about, 3 months now? Every podcast is a huge issue of control and what's going on. That's the scary part. Different facts, but it keeps getting compounded. Like last week, we were talking about how they now are giving control where they say they can subpoena everybody in Congress and office, things like that with various things. It's a major problem.
Yeah.
It's a major
problem.
Someone
tweeted at the New York Times in response to that. So the New York Times again said, propelled by a mix of greed and boredom. And someone said, oh, as opposed to the professional investors who are famously propelled by a mix of generosity and love for all mankind.
No,
it's like a stockbroker is the definition of greed. That's what everyone thinks of. It just is so...
Well, the more money the stockbroker makes, the more money hopefully he's making for his clients. But the problem is these
like
hedge
when you
fund
think
guys,
of like capitalistic greed, you think of Wall Street. You don't think of...
No,
that's the first thing you think of.
These guys make billions a year that run these funds. I'm happy. Listen, I think it's great that people, civilians, can do this and use the power of social media for something like that. Say, you know what, F you. Where before they were, it's funny how it's no different than these major companies, Bronson, these major companies pay you in advertising for social media to help benefit their profits. Why can't it be worked in reverse? If somebody wants to tank it, why not?
Yeah.
But it's this control.
But it can't work in reverse because it's the people who are in power. They're the ones that set the laws.
The light switch. That's it.
Yeah.
They just turn it off.
And that's what they're doing.
It's unbelievable.
We've seen this year. And this is, you keep saying to me like, oh my God, you've changed your views so much. And I think it's just...
No, I'm happy with where you're going with it.
No, but I think it's just, we've seen obviously
drastic
since
stuff.
2019, we've been seeing certain things. Like, I think it really all started with Epstein. And when Jeffrey Epstein killed himself, I'm doing air quotes if you're just listening, killed himself in prison. That was, no one in the world was on the other side of the issue saying, oh yeah, he definitely killed himself. There was no conspiracy or coercion in that. Everyone was
and
like,
how
there's something fishy here.
Yep.
And then now no one talks about it anymore. It was shut down. Ghislaine Maxwell, no one talks about her. She's in
she
custody.
Alive? Right. Well, I don't know what's going on.
She's in custody.
I don't know what's
she's
going
on
on with
trial
her.
and stuff, but it's all hush hush. The media doesn't cover it at all. For me, that was definitely like a whoa. There's clearly nefarious. There's my word.
Yeah.
There's clearly nefarious things going on.
You know, another thing that also was a concern, which was like talked about for less than 24 hours or 12 hours, was the shooting in Las Vegas.
Well, that was, yeah.
That was, that was something that literally, like, they talk about, and there were a lot of people killed, and that was some crazy shit
and
out of a window.
One guy did it.
Yeah, but and
then killed himself before anyone could get to him.
But
cops say they heard, like, I've done some, like,
you have your sources
digging into that.
You have your sources.
The reports from the night say that multiple people, witnesses, and cops heard multiple guns going off from different places.
But it's shocking. No one knows anything.
Guy.
No one knows anything.
No, and after 3 days, it was stopped. Same with the Nashville bomber.
Say, what about that one?
Just up, no, gone.
By the way, less than 12 hours of news.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, that's
they just found
crazy.
a guy. Oh, white guy.
Why is that?
This is his name here, and it's gone. And they don't know a motive. They don't know anything.
No, it's scary. And here we go. People drink the friggin' Kool-Aid again.
But I think that this year it's changing because it's so obvious. You can't.
They're pushing so hard. The people are. The government and these billionaire. Let's call the billionaires boys club, right?
The elites.
Well, I should say the billionaire binary club. Not to offend fucking people again.
Well, it's not all boys. Pelosi is definitely in there.
But look at her. I think she was probably born a man. But hear me out for a second.
That would get her more points than her in our caucus.
But I think I'm actually happy with the people actually standing up. And I'm not talking from a position of violence, but standing up, like saying enough's enough and start doing things and being creative. And what's been great is look, I know I'm somewhat of an extremist on one side, and I have my views and I get very passionate and a little crazy with it. But the comments we're getting, there's so much support out there. Like, that blows me. And I'm not talking about, but we're getting support about, you guys are great and we love you guys and we wish you the best. I think that's awesome and it's so nice. But what's great is the people that are supporting, like, the comments are so in favor of our views and what's going on, and they acknowledge
we
it.
might also just be attracting a certain, I fear that we're becoming like a right-wing political podcast. And I don't want it to be that at all.
Because it's not about politics. I'm talking about, it gives me hope, because it gives me hope that there are people out there that is enough.
I would like to think that what we're saying, like I've said multiple times on this show, I don't view myself as a Republican or Democrat or conservative or liberal. Like, I don't like any of the labels. I think it's all
but you want your
problematic. Freedoms. But what I'm leading to is, I don't think that anything that we've said is really like controversial or problematic. Like, I think what we're saying kind of seems logical and makes sense.
Yes, but I think it makes sense to us.
And also, we don't agree. Like, we're not always on the same side of things.
Yeah. So but
also a new one. So we're like in all these things that have been happening that have been pulling back the curtain, right? It started with Epstein, at least for me, and I think for the majority of the country. And I'm not saying...
What do you mean? I saw Epstein last week in Palm Beach.
Yeah.
I was at the Breakers Hotel. It was him.
And so like that happened, and then with COVID, and then at first, the World Health Organization was saying that
Trump not winning the election.
That's
a good... I'm talking about
but you're skipping a year. I'm not talking about conspiracy.
I'm not talking about, so I'm not going chronological. I'm just talking
about going chronological.
All right, but I wasn't. I'm going in my mind.
Well, I don't know. What was I saying?
You said COVID.
Right.
First
so at
Epstein,
first, like
COVID.
Right. So like at first the World Health Organization was saying, don't wear masks. They're not important, whatever. And then a month later, they were like, everyone needs to wear masks and stuff. And I get that was partly it was to
precautionary and
it was to make sure that masks are going to the right people, so that not everyone went out and bought all the masks up because we didn't have enough. But it's like, that was another thing where it's, okay, we're in the biggest, most problematic time in our country, and all the people that we have to turn to listen to just lied to us. And then now what's coming out, which is the craziest one, is now there's plenty of evidence, and it's almost mainstream thought now that this came from the Wuhan lab, that COVID came from the Wuhan lab.
Okay. Now?
Right.
Wait, now?
No, but it was,
it's fucking,
see, but until a month ago, if you said that, you were shut down immediately.
No, but
now they're talking about it. Bill Maher was talking about it all week.
All right. Listen to me. We all know what this was done, because now all of a sudden fucking Biden comes in office, and the reality, and now they started opening up places in LA and New York City and so forth. We know exactly why it was done. I don't want to go back and beat a dead horse, but everyone knows where it came from. There's photos, there's all the footage in it. Everyone knows where it came from. And people think it was clearly done by China, and also with the knowledge of America and Obama as the president.
Well, see, there's no evidence for that. I'm talking like Brett Weinstein.
There are photos on the internet of Obama.
We've had this conversation where you said photos can be doctored.
Okay.
We've had that conversation.
I don't sound like that. But let me explain something to you. There are photos on the internet where Obama has visited the labs in China. There are.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Also, again, photos can be doctored, and also someone can go. There are photos of me with the World Trade Center. That doesn't mean I blew them up.
Okay.
It's correlation, not causation.
I'm just saying, has knowledge of what's going on. And I think personally, this is one of the chemical warfare. And it's done for a couple of reasons. I thought it was purposely done to break down our society. Hear me out for a minute.
Just America? Because it's shut down the whole world.
I get it. I understand shut down the whole world. But hear me out. I think it was to break down our society, to break down to make people dependent financially, which, this is more further separation of the real haves and the real have-nots, and to get rid of the middle class, make people dependent on the government, to make the rich much wealthier. Take away the jobs, affect the presidency election,
I don't think that it was.
I think it was a whole master plan thought out. Now, sometimes things don't go according to plan, but this clearly was done, I think, intentionally and all about control. And in addition to that, which is the other part that scares me the most, is it was a test to see how they can control people. Everyone's wearing fucking masks.
Who's they? China and U.S.
I think.
But then why, if they're working together, why is then China doing it as an attack on us? If they're they,
because I think
who's the they?
Because I think China owns a lot of the American politicians financially and can make them corrupt, and things are either, I think, were promised.
But then why was it an attack on us? If they own us, why would they attack us?
No, because China wants to. Because two reasons: China wants to destroy our country and our economy, and
why would they want to? We're one of their biggest exporters.
Doesn't matter. They're a major enemy. They want to own everything and be complete power.
But how would? And I don't necessarily disagree with you on some things, but like you're saying two things that like don't work together.
Okay.
Because why would they also do it?
Because they could still keep us Americans doing what Americans need to do by just following the sheep or walking to the gas chambers like the Holocaust. And the reality is people don't ask questions because they keep pumping their mind with the Kool-Aid and watching TV and doing what they need to do. And the result of it, people get sort of like quasi brainwashed. There's no doubt that all the countries, I think, short of Israel and maybe England and so forth, okay, they do not want to bring down America. Everyone else wants to bring down America. They want to we were the powerhouse. They want to be more powerful. And what do? They take the stupid fucking leaders that are really pathetic and that have all the millions and millions of dollars in their accounts. They bought them. They own them, they bribe them, and they control them. And as a result of it, they're going to bring America down. That's what they're doing.
But then why also why has New Zealand been shut down for over a year and a half? Were they trying to take New Zealand down as well? Okay. Or is that just like a symptom?
No, I'll give you an example. What's better real estate? What was better real estate? Manhattan or Staten Island? New Zealand could be Staten Island. No one's concerned about Staten Island.
But what I'm saying is, if it was an attack on America, then why is the whole world shut down? That's against China's interest.
No, listen.
China builds everything for the rest of the world. Why would they want the world shut down?
Okay, because America, everything revolves around America. Everything revolves around America.
Not really anymore.
Anymore, because the other places are controlling it. Bron, just hear me. These things are a test. This was a test. And by the way, I don't think they could figure out every answer. Right, because some things can go wrong. Maybe it's spread the way they didn't want it spread. Who knows? But it's a test, because what they want to do is they want to keep fear. When they came out saying they had the actual vaccine, the same day, they said there's a new strain. It's to create fear and hysteria. True. Because what happens is people are afraid. But when I talk to people, I don't give a shit about COVID. Before I got it, I didn't care about wearing a mask. I figured live and let live, and you're going to get sick. You got to do it. I've always been that way. Not respect the people who do care about it, and I respect those people who are concerned about it and they're allowed to be fearful of it. But Bronson, if you hear the conversation I have with these people, the hysteria, people, they scared the shit out of the American people.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Terrible.
I personally, like, the problem that I have when 6 months ago you were saying like, oh, it came from a lab. It's like you only were saying that because Trump said it. Where now people are saying it because there's evidence. There wasn't evidence. And I do think that the problem was everything's so politicized now that when 9 months ago people were starting to say this came from a lab, because it came out of Trump's mouth, it was tainted. Right, exactly. That's a perfect word for it.
But it's still the truth.
Right. So I hate that it's politicized, but back then there was no evidence to support that. Like, the World Health Organization didn't do any investigation. Now they're doing an investigation into it. And like Brett Weinstein, who's an evolutionary biologist, podcaster, one of the smartest men in America out publicly, who's talking, and he's a biologist. And he, on Bill Maher, who's a very liberal man.
Yes.
They were talking about how this came from a lab, and he said there are biological markers. After studying this for a year, there are things that exist in this that lead us to believe that it was not formed naturally. There's just too many perfect things that it has.
Okay, and that's scary.
But the thing is now, like 6 months ago, if we're sitting in a backyard smoking cigars and someone who I wouldn't trust with my money is saying it came from a lab. Obviously, I'm going to be like standoffish about it. But if now there's evidence for it, then I'm going to listen to the evidence.
All right, because
you were just saying it came from a lab. You had no evidence to back it up. Now there's evidence.
Okay.
So now I say, yeah, I think it did.
That's you. That's you.
But you're just saying things without evidence.
Okay, but I believe Trump. That was my choice to believe Trump. I believe him. I don't like everything Trump did. Hear me out. I don't like everything Trump did, but I believe his intentions are good. I believe that he's for the greater good of America. I believed him. So the end result's the exact same. This is so my conclusory statement that you don't validate because of where it came from. So I'm basing my opinion on something that you might not have the documentation to back it up. It's the same end result of where you came 8 months later with the same end result.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all. So we're both correct. I believed him. I don't know.
I believe facts, not people. Why would I believe a man?
If I told you something, Bronson, about something earlier
if
today.
You told me that was like something that was crazy, because that's a crazy idea.
Why is it a crazy idea?
That's a movie plot.
Trump, by the way, Trump is not smart enough to just out of the blue make a general opinion that it came from China. He's not smart enough for specifically where it came from and the lab, the city and so forth. He's not smart enough. So he has his sources as well, which I'll never know about. Trump is obviously a very good businessman, crazy, acts stupid and says dumbass things and so forth. But I believe he believes in America. The guy's not sitting there and go, let me say it came from Russia. Let me say it came from Moscow. No, I believe when I heard him say that, and then you start reading other things again, it's just an opinion based on what I thought. You're saying I don't like your same conclusory statement, but I have more facts behind it now.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I believe evidence. I don't believe opinions. I'll listen to opinions, but why would I take someone who I don't know? Okay. Why would I take someone's word for someone who I don't know over evidence?
It doesn't. That's your choice. That's your choice.
That's the right choice. Evidence over opinion.
That's your choice.
Okay.
Because let me explain. When you go into court and you have expert witnesses, they give they're known for someone's been doing it for 35, 50 years. Then they come in as an expert. Their opinion has a lot of fucking weight. A lot of weight.
Their opinion based on the evidence. No one gets convicted because they say, I feel like he's a killer because I don't trust what he says.
But you know, Bronson, the evidence, there can be evidence and you have a plaintiff and you have a defendant. And I'm telling you right now, the two lawyers can skew it so differently. So then you know it gives a lot of weight to it. Okay, a lot of probative value. The expert witness.
Right, but also our justice system, I don't trust our justice system. You do?
Okay.
As a lawyer, you say all the time, oh yeah, plenty of people go to jail who shouldn't go to jail, and plenty of people get out who should have gone to jail.
Nothing's perfect, and it's the best of the worst system, and there's nothing without flaws. Life has its issues. Businesses have their issues. There's nothing that's 100% foolproof. There's no perfect utopia with the rose-colored glasses. But you can't be cynical on every fucking thing. You're 24 years old.
I don't see anything that I've said as cynical.
You don't believe our justice system?
You believe that the world is run by elites who are all controlling, trying to control the world and control us and take away all our freedoms. And I said, yeah, the justice system is flawed. And you're saying, you're so cynical.
Okay, you didn't say it's flawed.
That's what I said. I said the justice system, it doesn't work.
Okay, fine. Not going to argue on that.
You agree with me. You think that the justice system works well.
No, I think there's a lot of problems with it.
That's okay. What, maybe I shouldn't say that the justice system, whatever I said, I'll say that there are a lot of problems with the justice system.
All right. But that's the least of it. That's I think low on the totem pole. I think that we still have to have due process. I still think we have to have our liberties and not have control, not have checks and balances for the politicians, Democrats and Republicans and so forth. Just my opinion. It's my opinion.
Another thing going on this, which I've been thinking about recently because it was in the news a couple weeks ago, is like the idea of a presidential pardon. Because we were just talking about Trump and we were just talking about how the justice system is flawed. I think that's one of the biggest flaws in this country that makes absolutely no sense. The fact that one person can willy-nilly, literally based on nothing, literally it can be whatever that one person wants, can erase crime wherever that person wants it. Literally just can say, with the flick of a pen, can erase someone's crime. Why do we have that power? That power makes no sense.
I don't know. Did you look it up? You know, you can look at the legislative intent. You can do some legal research on it.
Do you agree with presidential pardons? Do you think that that's a good idea? I don't think that should happen ever. Even if I think the president's the smartest man alive.
It is interesting to give that kind of power to one person and for no reason or no good cause, to not show good cause.
And then it's like there's no such thing as due process because the pardon can just boop.
Correct. And listen, if you're convicted by if you found guilty or favor a judgment against you in the civil system, or the jurors of your peers go ahead and find you guilty, then in reality, Bronson, unfortunately, there's a lot of industry that go to jail and it's terrible. I don't know. I'm not going to spend the time, but I'd be curious to find out the legislative intent behind it. But yeah, I don't think it's a good system. I don't know. That's a tricky call.
It just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, but a lot of things don't make sense. Again, that to me is a mind thing. So I want to
executive orders don't make sense.
Can I switch topics for a second? So,
yeah.
Today, I run along, the beach, and I'm running this morning, and one of the things that fucking bother me more than anything else.
There's so many things. I don't know where you're going with this.
Women pushing their dogs in a stroller.
It's worse when a guy pushes the dog in a stroller too.
Well, he's okay. The only guy to fucking either carries a little dog or pushes the dog in the fucking stroller is because it's not the wife. It's got to be the girlfriend, and he's thinking he's getting laid or whatever it is. Because it's fucking retarded.
You know what's worse than the stroller? The baby Bjorn, when they carry them on their chest.
No, I saw one like that.
They have a little Maltese on their chest.
Okay. A Pomeranian.
That's the perfect one for it, yeah.
And it was a beige one.
Although those are really cute dogs.
They're cute dogs. And the fucking woman, I'm literally running along A1A, and the fucking woman, seriously, walking with the guy. It's been enough people in the car by themselves wear a fucking mask, which I don't get. I see that. I'm like, holy shit.
I think is you forget or something. I forget oftentimes to just,
I'm wearing a mask. I never forget because I fucking hate the mask. I never forget when it's on. So I'm like, all right, I'll give that to you, Bronson. I'll give you a little bit of leeway on that where people forget the issue with regards to the mask in the car. But I'm telling you, Bronson, literally, I think it was last week I told you, I came home and the woman, I'm running and I almost wanted to stop. And I thought that mom would say, like, mom's on my shoulder, leave it alone, John.
But then again, I personally think that that's stupid. Like, I wouldn't do that, but also, who cares?
No. Listen, who cares about a lot of shit we're saying?
The fact that you thought, like, I'm going to take time out of my day, stop what I'm doing, and talk to this woman about what she's doing in her own life that's literally harming no other human.
Okay, Bronson, who cares? Wait, you said, I forget on last week's podcast, you said, I would like to talk to that person to find out why they think that way. I said, well, because I said, you want to ask because they're stupid. I forget what the issue was. And like, no. I just want to understand why it is. And I forget what the issue was on the podcast. When I see that, first of all, dogs have 4 fucking feet. Humans have 2. Dogs have 4 feet. They're meant to walk, number 1. Number 2 is they're packed animals by millions or billions of pack. Right, P-A-C-K. What did I say?
Packed.
You know what I meant. Yeah. Okay. So they're pack animals. In their genetic thing, they are. Someone needs to be an alpha in their pack, and
that's a myth. That's not true.
Okay,
the alpha thing is completely false.
All right, forget that for a moment. Okay, so listen,
humans are pack animals.
Okay, all I'm saying is that they're communal animals.
Most mammals are,
but on the same token, we know that dogs travel in packs. Okay, that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to make a whole TED talk out of it. I'm just making a comment. Okay. So with that in mind, and they sniff asses. That's their way of shaking hands and greeting. They sniff asses. Literally, that's what they're supposed to do. Okay? And some dogs even eat shit. They're not human beings. I love my dog. We've had what? We've had 5 dogs in 15, 16 years. We obviously are animal lovers. We are 100% animal lovers. But to carry a dog in a baby Bjorn or to stroll your dog, it fills a different void for the person. I agree. Live and let live. But it annoys me. I don't know why it annoys me. It annoys me because I want to stop and say, what are you doing? The dog needs to walk. It's better for the dog to walk. It's better for your dog to socialize with other dogs. It's better if you don't put your fucking dog in the chair when you're eating dinner and feeding your dog human food, okay, or on your lap. It's not a human. The dog's meant to be a fucking dog. That's
okay,
it.
And I have the perfect response to that.
Best thing for that dog is to treat that dog like a dog.
I have the perfect response to that.
Which is?
A Pomeranian, right? Let's take that. Pomeranian is not natural. A Pomeranian has never existed in the wild. Pomeranians were created for a purpose. They were created by humans, bred to be that size, to have that temperament, to do all the characteristics that someone buys a Pomeranian for. They were
to be held all the time?
Yes, they were bred to be lap dogs that live in a small place and are companions. They weren't bred to be hunters or to have characteristics that a wolf would have, which is where dogs are descended from. They were the sole purpose of a Pomeranian. Now, a Labrador Retriever is a different story. If someone had a lab in a stroller, that makes less sense. But a Pomeranian is bred for companionship and basically just that. So if someone buys that and that's what makes them feel good. You buy your dogs for you. You don't buy your dog for the dog. So when you say do what's best for the dog, it's like, no, then you shouldn't have bought the dog.
No,
you bought
Bronson,
you bought Banks for selfish purposes.
No, Bronson, the dog literally should be walking.
I agree
Unless
with you.
The dog's exhausted. It's
just so bizarre that it takes up this mental energy of yours for something that someone else is doing.
I'm done taking.
You said it annoys the shit out of me for no reason. I don't know why.
He sees people with their dogs.
It's stupid.
I don't think so.
No. I'm not saying I'm saying it's stupid that someone puts a dog in a stroller, but I don't care because it's someone else's life.
But I'm just having a conversation.
No, I know.
I don't sit there and dwell on it and sit there and lie on the therapist's couch.
Do.
Okay, great. Fucking pain in my ass. So this will be our last podcast.
Well, we can't deny our fans.
I'm just fucking with you. Oh my God. You get annoyed. I'm going to take my fucking Great Dane.
I was playing the other side and
I'm going to take my Great Dane. Here's what I'm going to take like a Publix shopping cart. I'm going to put fabric around it. I'm going to take my Great Dane and put him in it and stroll the fucking dog in the mall like it's one of those baby carriages. All right, let's move on. I'm getting annoyed and we're not going anywhere with this.
Okay, do you want to keep getting annoyed or do you want me to bring up something that's cool?
Why don't you tell me the two topics and I'll let you know?
One is like a thing that will trigger you. We're going to talk about both. It's just whatever order you want me to bring them up in.
I'm already annoyed. Let's talk about the annoying one.
Okay. So I'm
fucking getting pissed off right now.
This week, San Francisco School Board announced that they're going to change the names on 42 of their schools in the city of in the county of San Francisco because they don't agree with the names. So they said that the school name should reflect the values of the community. And so let me.
I don't even know if I want to know this.
You got to see some of the names that they're choosing to leave.
Why are they doing this? Because it's politically correct. By the way, California, everyone's leaving California, Bronson. Everyone. They're going to bankrupt their entire fucking state again.
So the school board on Tuesday said, now is really the time. This work needs to be done. First of all, now is not the time at all. It's also costing them, I believe, $13 million to go through with this.
Why are they wasting the fucking time on this?
So schools are closed. Teachers aren't getting paid. And they're spending $13 million of the school's money to change the names of the schools.
What's the point? Wait, what's the point of this?
You know what one of the school's names is? Abraham Lincoln. They said, I got to find the exact quote because you can't even make it up.
God. Unbelievable.
George Washington was another one name that's not suitable for public schools. Okay. This is a quote. Lincoln is not seen as much of a hero by many Native Americans. Okay. I can't find the exact quote. They basically said that Lincoln didn't do enough for the black community.
Could you imagine? When is enough? No, when is enough?
Well, I just don't understand that. And
they're reshaping history.
I also think the San Francisco School Board is not. I think it's a majority white people, and they're saying that Abraham Lincoln didn't do enough.
They make them feel good about themselves that they're making it like they're more supportive to the African American community. Give me a fucking break.
And Dianne Feinstein, who was a senator, a feminist Democratic senator, she had a school named after her in San Francisco, and that's being removed too. A Democratic, she's like one of the main proponents of feminism, modern feminism.
Don't people stand up to this? Seriously, don't people oppose this?
It affects a third of the district schools. Someone who voted in favor of the changes says this is in no way erases our history. It cannot, and we will not forget the past. But we can honor the work that has been done to dismantle racism and white supremacy culture. What I view it as is an opportunity for our schools to embody the characteristics and feel a sense of pride in the chosen name.
Are you kidding me? You do know it is rewriting history, right?
Feinstein, who has an elementary school named after her, made the list because of controversies decades ago, around the time she was mayor of the city, involving the redevelopment of a building that had housed Chinese tenants, as well as an incident involving a Confederate flag at City Hall.
Could you imagine?
So they're literally, and she represented California in the U.S. Senate since 1992.
That's what they're changing.
And she's
you hear
been
the
a
reason why?
proponent to feminism.
You hear the why
they're
they're
literally
changing
it because of decades ago, she was involved with the redevelopment of a building that had a lot of Asian tenants.
So what's wrong with that? But what's wrong with that?
I just don't, it just doesn't make sense. I don't understand it. They're spending millions of dollars to do this.
Bronson,
we're excited to have the opportunity to give our school a name that reflects our Latinx and indigenous school, said a parent of a third grader.
What was it?
Latinx.
What is that?
So, like if you call someone, like a guy is like a Latino and a Latina, it's like gendered.
Yeah.
So a new thing is
way.
Latinx. It's Latinx. So it's gender neutral. But by the way, I've spoken to plenty of Hispanic people, and
they don't like it, right?
Hispanics reach out to us, people who refer to themselves as Latinx or would be considered that. I've never heard a single one of them use that. Their language is gendered. There are certain words that are female words, right? Like puerta, it ends in an A, right? And like you say la puerta, and then you say lo something else for a masculine word. The whole Spanish language is gendered. That's how the language works. And it mainly started in Hollywood, this Latinx thing. And I hear people, so like I work in Hollywood, and I hear executives all the time saying, all white executives, I hear plenty of white executives all the time saying, oh, I have this great Latinx writer. Oh yeah, we should add this person to the cast because they would give a good Latinx perspective. And they're all white people. I don't get it. I don't
understand it, Bronson.
I just don't get it.
They're destroying their own state, by the way. And Bronson, there's so much going on. What's the point? What's going on? Bronson, this is a major problem.
It doesn't make sense.
It's Texas.
And that they say that now is the time. This is the time. The school board literally said this work needs to be done. Now is the time.
Then $13 million.
Yeah. When teachers aren't getting paid. So the teachers, who are arguably one of the most important
jobs
parts of our country,
correct,
and one of the most undervalued and underappreciated parts of our country, they're not getting paid, and they're having to take pay cuts, and the unions are all revolting. And the school board, instead of taking care of the teachers, is saying now's the time to remove Abraham Lincoln from a school name.
When am I ever speechless? I don't even know what to fucking say. Seriously, because Bron, it not only does it make no sense, it's beyond fucking offensive. It's showing where things are going so quickly. And again, what does it say? Fucking people are so stupid. Why are they doing this? It makes no sense why they're doing this.
So here's more quotes. The former principal at Miraloma Elementary School was against it. Marsha Parrott, she said, do you really think changing the name on an empty building is going to change anything that's going on inside? What is your goal? Racial justice, inequality? How is that going to occur when there's nobody in those buildings and won't be for some time? It's a good point. Like the schools aren't even being used. Why do we need to change it now?
Why spend the money?
Jeremiah Jeffries, a teacher and leader of the renaming committee, said each school name was evaluated against criteria developed during early meetings at the beginning of last year. This is a quote. We are unapologetically going after white supremacy, white supremacist symbols, and making these changes that people have been demanding for years. Tell me how George Washington is a white supremacist.
Do they have white supremacists?
Tell me how Dianne Feinstein is a white supremacist.
Bronson, you don't think it's just propaganda? That's all it is.
It's just
you don't even say.
So here, the new signs would have cost about $10,000 per school, $10,000 per school for just the sign. But then they also have to change
everything else,
all the letterhead, all
software,
all the social media presence,
correct,
all the business cards, the whatever. There's everything. So much that will now have to change.
That's right.
It just, I don't know. I don't get it.
I don't understand it. It's so sad what's going on. Don't you think it's really sad for your generation? Our future?
I mean, most of my generation would support that.
Do you really think so?
Wait.
Would you really think? I don't think so.
What I was about to say. I think most of my generation would support that for the sake of virtue signaling, not because virtue signaling.
What is that?
To be like, I'm a good person. Like I support like virtues, right?
Oh, virtue.
So signaling that you have virtues. That's basically what that means. So it's.
But I think I'm a good person, and I think it's the stupidest fucking thing in the world.
Right, but for a lot of 20-year-olds to be truly
to belong,
woke, I mean, woke is the word. Like, to be woke, you would support that.
No, it's to be politically correct. It's a joke.
Right, woke is the new term for that.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
I call it joke.
Nice.
Thanks, bitches.
I actually haven't heard that one.
What?
Woke joke.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
Bronson, remember when you told me the first bill they passed in Congress was that whole gender naming thing, which has no value and it's just a waste of time and taxpayer dollars? Mm-hmm. A waste of time. This is the biggest fucking waste of time, changing names of the schools. It's not called Confederate School.
Right. And it's in San Francisco, which is arguably a top 3 most liberal city in America.
So LA got fucked, and people moving out of LA, and they're going to fuck up San Francisco. It's unbelievable, Bronson.
Yeah.
It's truly unbelievable. I can't even get mad because I don't even know what to say. I'm so speechless. I don't understand it. If you want to talk to me about some things that like really trigger me, I can have a debate over it. This, I don't even understand. It's like, there's nothing to say other than, fuck you, you're a moron. Okay. And no, you're a moron, because I would love to be in the room with that person and have the conversation about it. They're a fucking moron. It just makes no sense to me.
Like, I get wanting the kids who go to a school to feel like proud of their school,
but give a shit. The kids going to the school.
One, they don't give a shit. 2, now's not the time. The school's not even open.
Yeah, but let's go.
And 3, Abraham Lincoln. Who would ever be like, I feel uncomfortable in the name of Abraham Lincoln?
Bronson, let's get to the first point. So we don't have to get to point 2 or point 3. No fucking kid or parent gives a shit that school is called that.
Actually,
school.
It's not even would be the kids. It'd be the parents. No kid would care. It'd be only the parents.
The parents don't even care. The parents want the kids to get an education. Put the $13 million into the teaching, the better teaching.
Or school supplies. Better. Kids literally don't have like pencils and pen and paper to write with.
These public schools don't have the money for the budget. Put that. So what they're going to take away other things, because there's only so much they get from the government funding, right? So they got to take elsewhere from the budget. So take that money and put into better schools. Better supplies, better teaching, things like that.
Anything would be better. Our education system is underfunded. Okay. Kids are not learning like they should, Bronson. And they're spending $13 million to make it so it doesn't say Abraham Lincoln, who freed the slaves. When
the Democrats were going ahead and marching the streets and taking down all the statues, okay, and harming businesses and destroying things, these militia type.
I don't care about the statue thing. I think statues are stupid.
Okay, that's your opinion, but I'm saying, it's been there for years. It's part of history. Just hear me out for a minute. They did that. Now that they're in office and the rioting has stopped because they cried when and then they got what they wanted to and they got it now, which I don't think they even till this day really won, but they got it. Okay. So they went and then...
Well, Black Lives Matter is now very against... They're pissed at Biden because Biden isn't communicating with them anymore because he got in.
Because it's all crock of shit. It's all, because what? Would you surprise a 47-year politician? Okay, there's a reason why there's stereotypes of the politicians, because they're all full of shit, right? Democrat and Republican. But 47 fucking years, till this day, and I'm getting way off topic, but I want to go back.
We are.
I just want to say this one comment, we'll go back. 47 years in office, I, till this day, ask people that are Democrats, please tell me what he's done. I never got an answer. And I'm saying, could you imagine if you were 47 years in a private business and you've done nothing, and now you moved up to CEO of the company? So he'll be in office for 50,
how do we get on Biden? Let's go back to the schools or the statues.
So what they did was they went ahead and pulled down on the statues, rewriting history or erasing history. And this is now the civil way of doing it without violence, because they don't want to riot, because the Democrats don't want these riots in the street and so forth and destroying businesses.
What's the why keep a statue? I don't care. Statues are so stupid.
I'm not asking your opinion on a statue. I'm saying they were existed.
But you're against them
because it's rewriting history. They're
tearing down a statue is rewriting history. Are they putting up other statues?
No, but
how is it rewriting?
Why does anyone have a right to go ahead and fucking take down public property?
Because we own the public property.
No, they don't have a right to fucking take down it. So you think I can go ahead and pee on the courthouse steps? Because I'm a taxpayer?
Wait, but you're in support of the people who stormed the Capitol.
I'm in support of people who stormed the Capitol for the reason because I told you about the being bullied, and if you try all these different things, I'm saying fight fire with fire.
I'm right. So you're fine with people breaking down doors of the most important building in America, but you're not fine with someone breaking down a metal thing in a town Hall.
By the way, let's be very clear. I'm not fine with any violence, period. However, what I'm saying, if they kept doing what they were doing and causing these riots and all this damage, things like that, and no one's getting anywhere, and therefore people, our side wanted to be heard, well,
if we lived, we always go back to...
I don't want to. You fucking brought it. I'm just talking.
No,
I want to say something.
We always go back to Holocaust stuff, but I'm going to do it. If we lived in Germany and there was a town that had an Adolf Hitler statue, you would not want that statue to be up.
Okay.
Some history should be not kept alive. There's a difference between...
What statue?
There's a difference between talking about Hitler and having a statue to him. The Robert E. Lee statues are... He's literally a traitor to this country. Robert E. Lee led the Confederate Army. The Confederacy was a rebellious faction that said, we are not part of America. So that's literally a traitor.
Okay, if you believe that, that's fine.
So I'm just going... I don't see it's just a hunk of metal. Who the hell cares?
Okay, that's your opinion.
Right, of course.
And I'm saying by changing the fucking names, like the Washington Redskins to the Washington football team. Okay,
those are different issues, though. Those are different
I'm
issues.
making a general statement of we don't have 4 hours to talk about each little specific thing. So when you cut me off on everything that I'm saying, just because you want to, I can deviate and dissect every sentence you're saying.
So I should never comment on your...
That's not what I'm saying, but you don't even let me get a fucking sentence out.
That's so not true.
Okay, no problem.
We've talked about so much stuff.
Changing the names.
We were talking about the school names, and then you went into Biden for 4 minutes.
Changing the names of these. How'd that happen? Changing the names of these schools, okay, is the same as changing the Washington Redskins to the Washington football team. No one cares that it was called the Washington Redskins. It's been like that for so many years. That's
not a reason to keep something.
No, but it's a movement that's what's politically correct. It's people drinking the Kool-Aid. People are offended. Do you know the NFL and also the National Basketball NBA? Yeah, the NBA. They lost a lot of viewers because of all the stuff that's politically correct. See, not everything has to be. Why does everything have to be politically correct? And by the way, what does that even mean? It's just an opinion. It's just an opinion. People, you're creating this whole separation by creating these labels. We talked about this over and over. If you want to treat people equal, treat people equal. If you want to go and stop with the labels and stop with the various sections and groups, and if people are uncomfortable, you can't make everybody comfortable in the world, Bronson.
Agreed.
Why can't people just say, I don't like it and move on? But we got to make everybody feel comfortable.
And also,
at the expense of making other people feel uncomfortable, it's a fucking joke. It's a joke. I feel uncomfortable with the shit that society's doing. Should they change it back now? America is America based on certain things. If you don't like America, get out of our country. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah.
You can say what you want. Don't worry, be afraid.
No, I don't know.
You do know.
I was just going to say, I just don't think it's the time now. If you're trying to make people comfortable, like, I think it's a noble cause, actually, to...
Change the name of the school?
No, not what I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say, I think it's a noble cause to try to strive for everyone in who is under your power to be as happy as they can. But you only do that, don't interrupt me, you only do that when you live in a utopia. When every problem is solved, then you can go to the problems of identity. Because honestly, that's the least important problem. Individual identity. In a society, individual identity is the least important problem. Financial problems are way more important. Health problems, just health care issues, education, defense, security.
I agree.
If you solve all those, which means then you live in a utopia, then we should strive to go on an individual person by person level. Okay, what do you not like about your life? Okay, let's fix it. What are you unhappy about? Okay, let's fix it. But when we're living in arguably one of the worst times that our country has experienced, now that's the main focus.
I agree. But there's an ulterior motive, Bronson. That's the problem. Do you really think these people really give a shit
it's
about
not. It's clear.
Changing the school name and these things? It's
virtue signaling.
It's what again?
Virtue signaling.
Right. It's all bullshit. Make them feel better about themselves. It's like,
and it just helps them get more votes.
It's such bullshit. It's so sad that this is what's going on. But I don't, when you bring this up, I don't understand the rationale behind it. I don't understand it. I'd love to have a conversation with these people. I don't understand it.
It's to so that people feel included, to stop racism, to stop white supremacy. That's what it is for.
White supremacy on Abe Lincoln? George Washington?
No, that's where it just doesn't make sense.
Well, it is California, Bronson. It makes sense. They do everything that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
California is so bizarre. It's bizarre.
That's why I say, why does Texas and California have to exist within the same set of rules? They're two totally different things. It's like forcing someone who speaks Chinese and forcing someone who speaks
English
Arabic
to communicate,
to like do a school project together. It's just, why are you forcing, just have someone who like, just don't, why are you forcing them to exist?
Leave me alone, right?
Or just have the person who speaks Chinese work with other people who speak Chinese. Why does California, why is California and Texas being forced to work together? It's just whatever, but
it's terrible.
People know
I do agree with you.
That.
So what was the fun thing you wanted to talk about?
Well, we're running out of time. So I want to talk about, because you dropped it last episode. So we have to talk about it now. Furries.
Oh, okay.
We have to talk about the world of furries, because people were excited about it last week. Because
those are those teddy bear guys that you dress them. They have these conventions. You see them running in hotel rooms.
What? Is that one of them in hotel rooms?
You see them running. They do these conventions in the hotel rooms and always in the hallways.
So you're like a little bit, yeah.
You've seen more movies, various movies. I've seen them.
So I guess maybe that's fun. What do you think furries are? And then,
so I think it's where people dress up in big like teddy bear costumes, and they have the head on so you can't see who's in it. They don't talk. They don't show each other who their faces are. They have these conventions. They do, I think, some bizarre sex things without knowing who they are. And it's this whole subculture. And I've seen on these the funny grade B type movies that were like the 70s or 80s, whatever it was. And you see these and they do them at these, it's like a skit or a portion of these B grade movies.
Okay.
And I think that's what it is.
Yeah. You're not super off. It's like it's a movement of people who feel some kinship to animals. And so they create like these alter egos. So like you literally create a persona. They call them fursonas. They literally call them.
How do you create a persona if you can't talk?
No, a lot of them talk while they're in their costume. They? Yeah. Some are committed and don't talk, but a lot do. So I have video to show you. We're about to.
All right, I want to see video,
but I want to explain.
So explain to me the persona that they create.
They create fursonas, which is like your alter ego, and they custom design
like Ready Player One.
Sure,
like in true life.
But you choose like if you feel that you have a kinship to like otters, and I feel like elephants. So like you'll make your character
so it's not
an otter.
Teddy bears. It's
any animal. They're all different types of animals. So yours is an otter. So you'll make up a whole character. And so your name is John Bloom. You'll make up a name.
Oh, you give the last name.
Everyone knows our names on this. Everyone knows our names. You'll make like a funny or like a punny kind of name that has to do something with the otter, and that's your name. And then you'll hire, there are companies that custom design the suits, and they're like thousands of dollars. People make the suits. And then and whenever you're wearing that, you're like a different person. You're that alter ego. And it's like a kind of, I think it's for a lot of like socially inept people. And then they
hide behind the mask.
Right. And they put the costume on, they can come out of their shell. But then there are these huge conventions.
It is creepy.
Yeah. It makes these people feel like it's nice that they have it kind of.
It's a little creepy because you don't know what's behind it and what the motive is. And there's an
Arrested Development type aspect to it.
But I bet there's also a sexual component of it. It's a big sexual arousing.
A lot of the stigma now is like because I researched a lot of it to kind of talk about it now. And a lot of furries are very against the
innuendo,
sexual stigma that it comes with. They say that's what it started out as, the movement. Now it's just like a friend thing. And so there's no shaking hands. When you meet someone at a furry convention, you hug. Everyone hugs. It's all about like feeling warm and feeling connected to the other person.
You're feeling warm because you're sweating your ass off in that furry outfit.
I mean warm in like a connection way. It's all about making friends.
How do you connect with someone if you don't even know who they are?
But you connect with the fursona. Let's watch.
But it's not true.
Let's watch some of these videos.
I still think it's a sexual thing.
I mean, they definitely do have sex in it. So this,
Let me see a little more towards my angle.
this is a clip from All Gas No Breaks, who's one of the best YouTubers around. He goes to all these interesting things, and he kind of just interviews people. So this was him at Midwest Fur Fest, which is a convention.
Check some of these places out.
We should go to the next one. So this is him interviewing some people at this.
My name's Dopio. What's your name, sir?
What's up, Dopio? I'm Andrew.
Rawr. Rawr. Because I'm a doggy. Rawr. Yeah. I mean, maybe I'd steal some scraps when the master's not looking, and maybe I bark at the newsman or the mailman. It's not my fault they're trying to attack us.
It's a man dressed in like a...
He doesn't know what to say, the guy.
Arr. Arr. Arr.
There's a grown...
No.
I mean...
okay, that's a disturbed human being.
Try to describe what he looks like for people who aren't
All
listening.
right, first of all, the guy interviewing him is shocked. The guy doesn't know what to fucking say. You have this guy who's probably maybe about 5'8", dressed in a wolf's outfit with a t-shirt on.
But it's also it's all colorful,
colored ears, and his behavior is fucked up. That's a disturbed guy. That's the guy that should marry the. That guy also is probably the guy who marries his stuffed animal.
A brony.
I'm
sure that there's overlap between these two worlds.
Are you a furry?
I am a furry, yes.
So what does that mean?
To become a big, strong beaver and defend my community.
You're on the way, man. Thanks for building all the dams and keeping us safe and keeping our waterways good.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
You do a
This
great
guy's in a
job.
beaver costume.
I like sandwiches.
He loves sandwiches. Big sandwich gang.
Yeah.
Wow.
Salute.
Thank you.
Furry gang.
I gotta watch more.
Within hours,
Look at
I
this.
found my
It's a huge convention.
I mean, look at...
Why
here, wait,
River otters, North American river otters.
I'm a jackal. Subterranean African wild dog.
I'm an ultra sub when it comes to that. Just being absolutely taken advantage of.
Look at him.
So that's sexual. He said, I'm an ultra sub, just being taken advantage
Submissive,
of.
I guess.
Yeah. So it was a huge guy, a 300-pound
That
guy.
will never get
who's
laid
an
elsewhere.
ultra
That guy will
sub.
never get laid. That's a weird. These people are fucking creepy.
I always consider myself a tiger ever since I was a little kid. Born in the year of tiger. My dad called me a tiger. Favorite animals: tiger, lions, cats.
That's beautiful, man.
This guy kind of half-assed it. This guy is saying he's a tiger. He's at the furry convention, and all he has is a tiger tail.
And a little stupid wool
little hat.
Wool hat.
He's not a... That guy half-assed
This is
it.
funny stuff.
Yeah,
Like what?
glasses, bottles, papers, stuff that won't break.
But what I didn't expect to find
And then here's where it starts to get
that a
sexual.
dildo?
Yeah, if you're ready for this, here's where it starts to get sexual.
I told you.
was the epicenter of an explosive new furry fetish. Alien impregnation.
So as you're using the main shaft of it, you're being caressed by all the smaller tentacles on the base. A lot of people who have an alien...
Explain what we're watching.
This guy's name is Wolf. He's a CEO of Primal Hardware.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and he's these bizarre.
They're
looking
alien.
rubber
They're alien
dildos.
peanut. They're dildos in the shape of an alien penis, and they have tentacles and shit. But wait, it gets worse. Wait.
impregnation fetish,
1 minute.
fantasize about being full of eggs or having eggs inserted into them. And the tentacle base just feels really good.
People put this in their butt, the whole thing?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
But
these are ovipositors. They have a hole going up through them, so you would make eggs out of gelatin, and you would insert them into the bottom, and add more until they start to pop out the other end. Shout out to all the alien enthusiasts.
I really like.
So the people are literally buying alien dildo penises, sticking them up, and shooting gelatin balls so that it feels like they're being full of
this
eggs.
whole thing is all sexual. That's all it is. 1 minute.
The eggs are like gelatin and they're food safe, so they dissolve. So if you put one inside of you, like it'll dissolve and it won't get stuck in there, and you don't have to worry about going to the hospital or anything like that. You can put it in your vagina, you can put it in your anus, you could put it in your mouth if you want, although I'm not sure the eggs taste that great. They are also so unique. Not only an ovipositor, but like you can
I want to hear this.
put into this. You can use this for maybe your clit, your taint, whatever. I mean, that's cute, right? Like,
filthy ape. You are in my presence, in my domain.
He's scared.
as
This is a person.
is inside of your lower intestine. It will burst.
So this guy's obviously
Do not worry.
weird. Like, forget about him being homosexual. And I'm saying not homosexual, weird, but he's got this.
Yo, shout out to any aliens that are watching this. I would love for you to come to my house. My phone number is 5. I would very much like it if you just came into my house, abducted me, took me up anywhere. Your choice.
I guess it's they're very submissive people that want to be.
Lube, no nothing.
But why?
No lube,
alien?
no nothing. He goes. I guess it. Look at this. I guess it's very
hardcore,
taboo.
But it's so interesting. Like this interests me. It doesn't. I'm not like these people are so weird. They are weird, but it genuinely interests me. Like,
all right, so let me ask you the question.
All of the. How do you get into this world?
They're weird because we don't understand it, but it's a fetish.
To them, it's not weird.
So does it make them bad people? No. It's just something we don't.
It makes them weird people.
What is this?
That's okay.
Another one.
I live in immigrant housing with a bunch of other undocumented people because I don't have an ID or a social security card or any credit because I'm trying to live off the grid because that's how committed I am to not being human.
Okay, so this is a woman.
Society likes to have an ego, right? And animals are the ultimate form of not having
She
one.
doesn't.
What animal are you?
Somewhere between a wolf and a kitten. So it's like a made up thing called a witten. I like to purr a lot, but only during sex. And then I just go meow and like yiff, yiff.
Oh yeah.
Good boy.
Okay. You know those parents are not proud. Those parents are
I
not
mean,
proud.
but that one's kind of sad.
She's disturbed.
But some of the people like the otter guy. The otter guy
don't go
genuinely
back. Don't go
seemed.
back to that
He
guy.
seemed like a.
Did he really?
He was just there enjoying himself.
Did he really?
Just eating his sandwiches.
Okay, I am telling you 100% they're in it because it's sexual. That's why they're in it. It's a fetish. They're in it because it's sexual.
Yeah,
Bronson.
but what's so? I mean, if they're
What's
all
the
doing
harm?
it,
Yeah,
right, I don't know if there is harm.
Listen,
it's just odd.
I don't think there's harm in it if they want to do it. And you know, I've always thought what two people do behind closed doors sexually,
Or what thousands of people do in a convention
my point
center.
is, but if they're of age and they want to do crazy
makes them feel
sexual
good.
shit. No, listen. If people are of age and they want to do crazy sexual shit, let them have fun. Who cares? I don't care.
Yeah, it's just interesting that there's thousands of people.
Furry's been around a long time.
Yeah, but it's
A
interesting
long
that there's thousands of people who will be 14, 15 years old and they're sitting in the room and they're like, yeah, you know, I think I'm more like an animal. I want to be more like an animal.
So no, I think what's a little bit crazy is that people with the social media, the internet, okay, and VR, it allows people to that are more in. It's sort of a catch-22 because you learn to deal with people by getting out and dealing with people. You learn to grow and communicate with people and have a sense of self-worth by not working from home, by when you're a little kid interacting with other kids, by parents pushing you out to do things. So when kids are behind the computers and playing video games all the time or searching on the internet or the dark web, whatever it might be, that doesn't foster self-worth. That doesn't foster you to be independent. That doesn't force you to feel good about yourself and to learn to communicate with people. So as a result of it, they hide behind their computer and their cell phone and
their
texting.
personas.
Correct. So what they do is they create this false facade about who they are, and then they find these interests. And for example, some people
And they find a community.
correct, and they automatically belong. So, for example, we were talking today at lunch, you and I and Mom, that some people who I truly believe feel that they become transgender, they were born a certain way and they feel they don't belong. But I also believe that some people do it for attention. And I know, again,
I don't want to get on the transgender issue when we're wrapping up.
Okay, you're right. But my point, what I'm saying is, so people love attention. So some people might have a low self-worth and self-esteem, or who weren't taught a certain way. The internet that's why VR right now, virtual reality, is huge and getting even bigger, right? So there's plenty of people that would never be able to, let's say, have a relationship, have sex and so forth. So they search up things that you can get anything on the internet, and now they have an instant family.
And you can have sex.
Instant connection, have sex, feel good about yourself, not be really who you are, be this false persona. And that part I disagree with. I think that's bad. I think people need to get out there and communicate more and not be constantly. You ever see people, you go to dinner and you see 6 kids or the parents and the adults and the children and everybody's on their cell phones the entire time eating? It's unbelievable. This, to me, if they're not harming anybody, I'm okay with it. But I do watch it. It's
harmless, but it's a little sad.
I think it's a lot sad. It's not a little, it's a lot sad.
Yeah. If there are any furries listening,
I want to hear their comment.
Please reach out. I would love to bring a furry on for like 10 minutes and interview them and genuinely, because it genuinely interests me.
Right. To understand the thought process behind why they're doing it.
And like just to ask objectively,
what made you start to do it?
Yeah.
Have you ever been laid beforehand? Do you ever have a girlfriend or a boyfriend?
I would
talk about
love
relationships.
to talk about.
Absolutely.
Please, if anyone knows a furry that would want to talk to us or is one, we would love to hear from you.
And they know how to reach you?
Yeah. We're all over, baby.
All righty. Sorry if I got a little heated with you.
And I'm sorry if I got a little heated with you.
It's good. I love you, so it's all good.
Yeah. You know, it's going to happen on our road to fame. There's going to be
going to be
bumps in the road.
Don't be like that. But sometimes it gets a little bit heated.
But that's normal father-son. We get heated all the time.
Right. It's all good.
But it doesn't matter.
We always end on a good note. Right, brother?
Yep.
All right. Thank you again, everybody. We appreciate it.
Please follow us on our TikTok. Spread it. Do whatever. I mean, just keep doing what you're doing because it's crazy what's been happening.
Talk it up. Tell your friends. Share it. Right? Share it.
Follow us on our Instagram, our YouTube. All the links are, and we started a website now. So daddyissuesthepodcast.com. You can go to all our episodes are there.
Daddyissuesthepodcast.com.
And all our episodes and all our links to all our different avenues are on there. So spread it out. Comment on our TikToks, comment on our YouTube, DM us on Instagram. I read all of them. I've responded to every single one. So we want to hear from you.
Right. And we love the feedback, positive and negative, but we've been getting good feedback. So we appreciate it.
Yeah, we love you all. It's great.
Love you. Yeah, love you. Love you, Bronny.
Love you too, Dad.
All right, bye. You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.